What do you do when the adults who are supposed to protect you become the very thing you're running from? My mom married Bob last September when I was 14. At first, things seemed normal. Bob moved into our house with his 13-year-old son, Steven. The house had 3 bedrooms, my mom's, mine, and a small guest room where Steven stayed. Bob worked from home 3 days a week, and Steven went to a different school across town. I came home from school and found my bedroom door wide open. The room was completely transformed. My bed was gone. My dresser was gone. My posters were gone. Instead, there was a gaming setup with a desk, gaming chair, 3 monitors, and LED lights running along the ceiling. Steven's clothes were in my closet. I stood in the doorway for 5 minutes, waiting for someone to tell me this was a joke. I found my mom in the kitchen making dinner. I asked her where my stuff was. She pointed toward the basement door. We moved you downstairs. Steven needed a proper room for his gaming equipment. I went downstairs and found my bed crammed against the wall next to the washing machine. My clothes were stuffed into black garbage bags piled in the corner. My dresser didn't fit in the space, so my things were just in bags. The basement had concrete floors and walls. There was a small window near the ceiling that let in almost no light. I sat on my bed and stared at the wall. When I went back upstairs, I asked my mom why she didn't tell me they were moving my room. She continued chopping vegetables. You're always complaining about wanting more privacy. Now you have your own floor. That night, I heard water dripping somewhere in the basement. I turned on my phone flashlight and found a puddle forming near the opposite wall. I put a bucket under the leak and tried to sleep with the sound of water dripping. The next morning, I told my mom about the leak. She said she'd tell Bob about it. 3 days later, the bucket was still there, now nearly full. I emptied it myself and put it back. This happened twice more before Bob finally patched the leak. The patch didn't hold. Water still dripped when it rained. At dinner that weekend, Steven complained that the internet connection was too slow in his room for gaming. 2 days later, a technician came and installed a special line directly to Steven's room. Meanwhile, I couldn't get Wi-Fi in the basement. I had to sit on the stairs to do homework on my laptop. For my birthday in November, my grandma Paula gave me a new bedspread and some string lights to make the basement more comfortable. When I brought them home, Bob said I couldn't use the lights because they were a fire hazard. The bedspread disappeared from my bed after 2 days. My mom said she put it in the wash and forgot about it. I never saw it again. In December, the basement flooded after a heavy snow. 2 inches of water covered the floor. My backpack was soaked, along with some of my clothes. Bob said it wasn't worth calling a plumber. He brought down a shop vac and told me to clean it up. It took 3 hours. My shoes squished when I walked for days afterward. I started spending weekends at my grandma Paula's apartment. She lived 15 minutes away and always made space for me. She had a pull-out couch in her living room that she said was mine whenever I wanted it. At Christmas, I got socks and a gift card to a fast food place from my mom and Bob. Steven got a new gaming console and 10 games. He complained that he wanted the more expensive console. Bob promised to exchange it the next day. When school started again in January, my mom told me I needed to spend more time at home. People are starting to ask questions about why you're always at Paula's. I agreed to spend more weeknights at home. One night in January, I came downstairs to find Steven going through my things in the basement. He had opened my dresser drawers and was holding my journal. I grabbed it from him and he laughed. Just wanted to see what a loser writes about. I told my mom and she said, boys will be boys. In February, my friend Ava invited me to her birthday party. It was on a Saturday when I usually went to Paula's. My mom insisted I come home after the party instead. You need to be part of this family. When I got home, no one was there. I found a note saying they went to dinner and a movie. The door to the basement was blocked with boxes. I moved them and went downstairs. Someone had been in my space again. Things were moved around and my pillow was missing. I called Paula and went to her place. I didn't tell my mom where I was. She called at midnight angry. I told her about the blocked door and my missing things. She said I was exaggerating for attention. The next morning, Paula drove me home. My mom was waiting at the door. You embarrassed me in front of Bob. He thinks I can't control my own daughter. She grounded me for a week. During that week, I stayed in the basement except for meals and school. On Friday, I heard Bob and my mom arguing upstairs. Bob said I was ungrateful and manipulative. My mom said she was trying her best. Later, she came downstairs with a chocolate bar, saying it was a peace offering. I took it but didn't eat it. That weekend, I packed everything I cared about into my school backpack and a duffel bag. I went to Paula's and asked if I could stay. She said yes without hesitation. My mom called Paula's house, demanding I come home. Paula put the call on speaker. My mom said I was tearing the family apart and making her look like a bad mother. Everyone's asking why you're living with your grandmother. I didn't go home. Paula enrolled me in the school near her apartment. My mom sent text messages alternating between angry demands and sad pleas. Bob sent one message saying I was causing my mother pain and should be ashamed.